take my hat off. Like a dummy. But anyway, we're going to get started here on the Fortress of Lions, of course. Why would we go to anywhere else besides this or Apocalypse?
Yeah, it should be quite an interesting team. I think the most interesting pick is Godly on the Kaya, of course, but we have the Bryn and the Ulgrim, the EU Classics in twos. I mean, just twos in general right now. We got two Bryns on the screen, and already the bow, which Godly has been using to quite a lot of success in this twos bracket so far, covering so much of that grounded space. But as soon as you get popped up by that Bryn and Ulgrim team, you're going to get hit by two recoveries. You're going to get unarmed so quickly, and right now the damage going very well in the favor of the blue team, but Godly on the spear looking to disrupt.
And right now, the red team going to be losing that first stock here. So honestly, Marker and Rayzox doing a really good job, especially against, Godly and Blaze. This is like the duos. I mean, if you're going to be looking at things from like a PR perspective, right? Yeah. You got the number 1 and 2 on the other side of you right now, and you took their stock first. First 2 stocks, actually. Yeah, right now, Rayzox and Marker doing a fantastic job setting the tone here to get started.
Very much so a walled strategy, but for the blue team, just really creating this just onslaught of hitboxes that do so much damage. This double axe combination of the lance and the spear, just getting so many good confirms. Nice side stick there from Godly to catch that high dodge from Rayzox, and we're even stocks here. But you know how quickly doubles can change how even a game can be. The blue team right now starting with a very strong vertical juggle game. That lance nair and that spear recovery is putting problems for Blaze, who's already deep red right now as we get just barely into the second stock.
Right now we got that Rocket Lance, man. That Rocket Lance is just, that is a weapon of all time, let me tell you, man. Yeah. I feel like, especially when we see it in doubles too, it just causes so much trouble, and not just for the other team, but sometimes for your own teammate if you're just not careful. It just has these big hitboxes and can just be such a hassle to deal with sometimes, but honestly doing a great job here, and honestly they're keeping up this pace as well as they maintain this 2-stock lead.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy from the red team to try to get back in this game. Godly playing very grounded. Blaze is the one that's taking to the skies on the Bryn. No pun intended there with the wings, but it's working out right now as they're trying to even up the stock count here. Blaze having an edge guard. The side stick connects for Godly as we get into a bit of a ledge trap situation. The side stick comes in and does find a KO right now as, yeah, I mean, it's a really tough spot for Ulgrim to hold on here. Stalling really, really effectively to avoid Godly, but getting hit with the pogo anyway. We're going to see if Godly commits. Godly gets the side light, but no side air, and somehow able to live, but not for much longer as that recovery comes in to take that stock.
Oh, man, they just were not able to capitalize on Rayzox all by themselves and just try to get some big damage on there. Now, as we take a look, I mean, Blazy is definitely in, not Blazy, just Blaze, definitely in a really tough spot there. Does end up losing that stock in general, but now 2v1. I mean, hey, Godly, they call him Godly for a reason. It's not just because he chose that name for himself.
You have to earn that title, and we'll see if he can earn it here in this 2v1. The pogo finds a connection, but they're playing pretty on top of each other as the blue team. The Endlight comes in on the axe. Godly about to get unarmed off the spear. You have to be careful of that sig. Avoids it, gets a side air for his troubles. Unarms Rayzox there, but getting hit by that side air, and that's going to close out that stock, and then I feel like Marker there just let it rip afterwards. Like, you know what, we took that game, let's get that side stick going. As they take game 1 versus Blaze and Godly, Marker and Rayzox looking really solid right now.
Yeah, no, that was actually really good too. Actually, there was a really little bit of sick movement there in that 2v1 scenario as well, where Godly basically jumped forward and then faded back.
Yep.
And just kind of baited out a couple options. I mean, you got to hand it to blue team. They did exactly what they needed to do in that 2v1, close out the game as they needed. And honestly, one thing I want to see more of is actually what Marker did at the very end of that game. If you win in a 2v1, start beating up your teammate. Just give me a giggle. Like, the action doesn't have to be over, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It would be cool if they let you duke it out last stock versus your teammate. Who's the real winner of this twos match?
Someone's got to be the better player. Oh, man. All right, but here we go. Right back into Fortress of Lions for game 2 here. And honestly, a little bit of the same, nothing too crazy in terms of pace being changed at all. But
the double round pound. Nice dodge. Oh, but gets hit with the side air anyway, and the blue team coming out with a big lead so far. Godly getting unarmed and getting hit by the big ground pound once again. The axe is just too much of a problem for the red team right now. The double axe combination, the wall has been working, but finally that side air does come in from Blaze to close out that stock, making it a lot more even of a game. But Rayzox holding on this Bryn right now. The high defense definitely playing into a factor, but taking very little damage as well. Really the stock tank of the blue team so far.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to hand it to Rayzox and Marker too. too. Because, like, doing it for one game, right, against this team, really tough. But doing it for, like, 2 games in a row, that's like you're really on top of your stuff today. And they are certainly playing well, but that is going to be the last of the full stocks being taken here. Everybody at 2 stocks now. Rayzox still entirely clean, not a speck of damage on him.
I'm definitely seeing a lot more side air connections on the Axe, especially more than ones, where it's a lot more of a commitment right now. It's just looking like both of the teams, as soon as they get popped in the air, are looking to land with that side air. Nice weapon toss there from Marker to close out that stock, and Bryn's able to capitalize on it. We'll see if Godly tries to go for the reversal. Does, and gets punished in a big way. The down air doesn't connect. Godly looking to reversal, but the exclamation points come out, and on the stage, Blaze finds a side stick to close out that stock, I believe.
Yeah, Marker going to lose that second stock. And yeah, it's pretty close across the board here. Now Godly could potentially lose another stock right here. Yes, they do, and blue team maintains his lead very well.
What an open up!
Ooh, that's actually huge. That's a nice little bit of damage, especially while Godly's, you know, taking their time to get back to the stage. That's exactly what you need to be doing and capitalizing on.
Down air into GC, downlight, off stage to get a pop-up, into a side air to get some big damage. I mean, that just could potentially win them the game. The side stick does come in, though. That evens up the stock count. There's a chance now. Godly chasing high versus Marker there, who almost gets caught out, but doesn't.
Okay, and there we go. Blaze off stage. Godly trying to make some play. Here we go. Right into another 2v1 with Godly having to pick up the slack here a little bit. And it's nothing to say, you know, that Blaze isn't playing well. I just think Rayzox and Marker, they're just phenomenal at the moment. And Godly just happens to be the last one left.
Okay, GC side sig from Godly, trying to make something happen by throwing out some crazy options, but that end sig does find a connection, and Rayzox and Marker again taking a very clean game. It's not coming down to a last stock situation. They are quite dominantly winning these matches so far. I don't know if we're going to see a legend swap coming out from Blaze and Godly, but right now it looks like Marker and Rayzox are looking to send Blaze and Godly home at 7th place.
Yeah, they're definitely playing really hot there. It's just going to continue to get like, more tough too. I mean, being down in a 2-0 deficit, it's scary. And it's not even just like the games are close, but I think that Rayzox and Marker, they're also just playing so good. Like their chemistry is on point.
Yep.
Like the synergy is definitely there. They're getting their big hits when they need them. They're not playing around with their food at all. They are here to get business done. And they are certainly working their way up that corporate ladder. But we're going to see how this continues to play out. Again, on Fortress of Lions, you know, I do like the stage, but, you know, I do feel like there's some other stages. But you know what? Players, they love playing here, so that's all they need.
As long as we're not seeing Demon Island for every game, you know, I'm a happy camper, so I'm not complaining.
At least one platform, please.
I think the platforms definitely work out for both of these teams, especially the blue team, who's been using it, I mean, to some great success off those big juggle states. Nice down air there from Blaze, who's looking to get an edge guard there. Godly going crazy on the hammer right now. We see a legend swap off the Kaya, and it's already paying big dividends as you got some pretty big damage on that Roman Reigns hammer.
Yep. I mean, that's definitely, I think, a big factor here, too. I mean, that's going to be so much additional power here to be closing things out. And there you go, the first 2 stocks. They finally get the first stock here for themselves in this game 3. It looks like that switch to the Taros, a.k.a. Roman Reigns here, is definitely the play.
Okay, Godly holding on to the wall here. We see an attempt from Rayzox there to bait out an option, and as I say that, it works out. Dash jump down air to punish the wall. Godly with triple exclamation points there, really trying to just stall on the wall for Blaze to get back. It ends up costing Godly a stock.
Okay, now everybody evened up here, and that yellow as well.
Wow. Godly gets a recovery there and immediately chase dodges to the other side of the stage to try to set up a 2v1 situation. Didn't work out, but really, you can see Godly's just trying to get back in this game with this hammer, get those big combos going. The down air does pop up on Marker there. Doesn't KO, but it's a nice little juggle state as they stack on top of each other, and both teams get sent to opposite sides of the stage.
All right, yep, tried to scoop him up there. Okay, there we go, Blaze. Oh, wow. And then you got Marker trying to come in to provide some additional support, and they end up losing the stock in the process as well. And now, from what was a 2-0 deficit, looks like we might be going into a game 4 right after this play. The red team is performing.
Really solid play on the hammer, and as well as Blaze just fighting those KOs on the Bryn. Very important, finding those SIG connections. Even in the 2v1, because you're up a stock, choosing to scrap there and getting some extra damage, the blue team have to kind of lay off the pressure. You don't want to take too much extra credit here. Nice conversion there, weapon toss, waiting for the low recovery attempt and getting that side air there, dropping the combo on Godly. That could have been some big damage, but Nonetheless, the blue team evening up the stock count and slowly beating out the red team in damage build up here. Rayzox able to find their way back to their weapon as we go for a ground pound on the right side. The red team really getting blendered between the spear and the lance right now. It's looking really tough for the red team to get anything going.
Definitely a bit of a tough one right there. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right, ended up cleaning up. What is this, PJ? All of a sudden, it's another 2v1 scenario with the red team on the back foot. And it just takes one to combo. Oh, my God. What happened? It all fell apart so fast.
It just takes that one Bryn N-Sig to close out the stock on Godly, and that 2v1 is just too much of a problem for Blaze to make that comeback. And Marker and Rayzox 3-0ing Blaze and Godly. Blaze and Godly out at 7th place here at Summer Double.